Ethical responsibility is the part of corporate social responsibility to behave in a moral and fair way. Companies can either set their own standards or they can adopt frameworks set by industry groups or campaigning organisations. But what are an organisation's ethical and moral responsibilities? In short, organisations have a responsibility for fairness, equity, and respect for human rights in the treatment of workers and employees, customers, their supply chain, communities, and investors. Treatment of employees. Here we're thinking about things like employee rights, employee relations, a living wage, employee health and safety, medical care, counselling and insurance, equal opportunities, and the advancement of minorities and disadvantaged groups in the pursuit of true equity and fairness. Treatment of customers. This starts with fair and equal access to goods and services, regardless of things like race, gender, cultural background, sexual orientation, sexual identity, religion, or age. It requires clarity and transparency from corporate literature, fairness of warranties and contract terms, proper handling of faults and problems, including returns, product safety, after-sales service, product quality and durability, and the sustainability of the product creation process, fair advertising and promotional practices, and of course, value for money. Supply chain. There are two mirror aspects to this, both fairness towards the suppliers and a reasonable requirement for a supplier code of conduct. Fairness in the treatment of suppliers means support for small businesses and businesses operated by disadvantaged groups, but it also fundamentally means fair terms of trade with your suppliers. This includes payment terms, but also includes things like providing financing for extraordinary capital investments that suppliers may need to make to serve your organisation. Supplier codes of conduct. It's also reasonable that organisations expect a code of conduct from its suppliers, contractors, and subcontractors. This can cover things like modern slavery, child labour, sustainability, resource conservation, and local environmental footprint, and treatment of their own supply chain. And of course, this means nothing unless the organisation is prepared to remove unethical or irresponsible suppliers from its supply chain. Community. Your responsibilities to your local communities include things like disturbances, noise and nuisance, health and safety and industrial hazards, the impact and the appearance of buildings and sites, unneighbourly transport movements, and the proper disposal of commercial waste. Investors. Investors are putting their money and therefore hazarding their own future on an organisation, and so an organisation must have a responsibility to those investors. These responsibilities include things like avoidance of corrupt practices, protection from financial mismanagement, misconduct and fraud, and protection from undisclosed financial risks. If an organisation behaves recklessly and exposes its investors to risks that they hadn't expected, that is wholly unreasonable and therefore unethical behaviour. Organisations sit within a huge network of stakeholders, and they have responsibilities to all of them. For an organisation to be considered sustainable, for it to be considered one with proper corporate social responsibility, it must pay attention to its ethical and moral obligations towards all of its stakeholders. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be making loads more great management courses videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, keep learning.